Hi everyone, my name is Siren and today I'll be talking about how I take pictures for my Instagram. For me it's pretty normal, it's not a big deal, but a lot of people have been asking how to make good pictures or scan it so that they can color it digitally or post it to their Instagram with nice quality. I'm going to show you how I use my camera on my iPhone to make photos and how to edit them. How I edit them actually. The reason why I take photos instead of scan it is because I feel like when I scan, a lot of sketch lines get lost and the organicness, I don't know, that sounds really pretentious, but that kind of gets lost too. I would only really scan stuff if I needed the perspective to be exactly as it is on the paper, if I'm doing like a comic page or scanning a final artwork, a sketch for a final artwork that I'm translating digitally. But this is just for a fun Instagram post or to color it digitally very quickly. So for that I prefer taking photos with my iPhone. For photos during the day, it's probably best to take a photo near to a window where there's lots of natural light. I always prefer this, so I try to draw as much as I can during the day, but there will always be situations like in winter when it's dark early or when you're just drawing at night, because let's be real, everyone draws more at night than during the day, where you don't have natural light available. So what I do then is just try to stand as close as possible to a lamp, and then I have Nikki help me, or I hold up the sketchbook myself so that the iPhone doesn't cast a shadow on the paper, because if you do it like this there will be a shadow as well. So that's something I keep in mind. But for now we have natural light, so I'm just going to go with that. So now I'm going to take the actual photo. For this I'm trying to make my workspace as clean as possible, move a few things out of the way, but I do keep in the materials and I'm putting that on some empty parts of the paper. This looks fine, I'm just doing it randomly. And then I take my phone and try to take a picture. A very important thing about taking the picture when you're taking a picture from an angle is that you make clear that there's an angle, and you can do that by actually including the edges of the sketchbook into your photo, because if you only take a picture for the paper itself, from the paper, I don't know English, there will be always like a small distortion in your drawings. So if you include the edges of your sketchbook, people will know that the distortion is because of the camera angle and not because you drew it that way. So this is quite a nice angle, kind of diagonal, a little less boring than just straight on, but and then I'll just take a picture on a square mode for Instagram. I just take a few of them so that I can always choose which one I like the best. I'm going to take a full one as well. Always nice when the camera recognizes your faces in your drawings. And there we go. And then I go on to editing. So I have two apps that I recommend for editing. I mostly use Line Camera, which I got a really long time ago when everybody was using that Line Play app. But it's still really fun. And I also recently got Snapseed, which is also free, and yeah, I like it. But I personally use Line Camera because of the filters a lot more, and it also has a text function and a collage function. What's it called? Yeah, okay, there we go. Thank you, Nikki, for helping me out there. So I'm just gonna open up Line Camera and I'm going to select the photo that we just took. I'm gonna look which photo I like best. I think this one was the proper one. So I'm going to rotate it so it's the correct one. And then I have several filters that I like most. Maple is one of my favorites, but it makes everything look very crisp, and the sketch style of this is already pretty crisp, so I'm probably not going to choose that for this one. But I just play around with it a little bit, and most importantly, I use the brightness settings that the app has. I usually lower the brightness so that the paper texture is pretty obvious and more clear. And then I up the contrast a little bit so the sketch lines are all crisp and clear and there's a lot of contrast. A little bit of saturation. Sometimes I use sharpen too, if the photo isn't very clear, but it doesn't do too much. And adding a lot of it is also kind of unflattering sometimes. I don't know words today, but it makes everything look very clear, and sometimes it makes things like little specks on your paper look too clear and very distracting. So I choose the aqua filter today and added a bit more saturation, contrast. There we go. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. Because I already included my signature, my artist name Siren, in the drawing itself, I don't have to add text, but if you want, you can use the text tool in Inline Camera to add a little watermark. You can make it as big, as small as you want. It's a really nice app. I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored, I wish I was. And I saved it, and then I can load it into my drawing software and color it later, or I can upload it to Instagram as it is. A little tip as well, I thought I would share this. I sometimes sketch with a blue pencil, and now I added some extra contrast with a ballpoint pen in this sketch, but sometimes I just leave the blue lines as it is. And I noticed that they tend to disappear a lot in photos, so a little tip for that is alter the brightness and contrast as usual, but add a lot of contrast, and then the blue lines will show up a lot. This app doesn't allow the warmth to be altered individually, but you can do that on Instagram. I'm going to show you very quickly. Because if you add warmth, it will mostly add that to the paper, and that will create a color contrast between the blue and the warmth of the background, so that the blue lines get even clearer. So that was the tutorial kind of thing, the tips and tricks of my Instagram photos. I hope it was useful to you. I wish you good luck in taking pictures of your beautiful drawings, and if you want to see how I color my sketches digitally, you can click the first video on the right, and if you want to see more and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to support my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!